Please rise and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning and welcome to RPtv. Today is Tuesday, December 10th, 2019. As we enter the holiday season, it is easy to celebrate and share the joy, but we also have to remember to make sure we are safe. That's what the Roselle Fire Department and American Red Cross have recently done. Eli has the details.
The Roselle Fire Department and 30 American Red Cross volunteers went to local homes on Saturday morning to deliver and install free smoke detectors to homes that didn't have them. According to Roselle's Fire Chief Eric Pearson, the firemen and Red Cross volunteers went out in teams with a focus in the 9th Avenue neighborhood to St. George Avenue and areas of Thompson Avenue with a minimum of 100 to 150 smoke detectors to be installed. According to Mayor Christine Dansereau, who was excited in bringing the program to the town, she says, "This program is so important for our families and it will save lives. This is just the beginning as we will continue with this project in the rest of our town. The plan is to go by area so that we can protect as many residents as possible."
A student in North Jersey has been charged with creating a false alarm which concerned the local school and community. Callie has that report.
A Verona high school student was charged with creating a false public alarm for sending an online message referencing a school shooting, officials said Monday. The Verona Police Department is confident there is no active threat to any school in Verona, the superintendent of schools and police chief said in a joint statement. Please note that different actions would have been taken had this threat been deemed credible. The student was taken into custody less than an hour after the message was reported Sunday night, according to the officials. They said an exhaustive search was performed of the home and school, both physically and electronically, and there was no firearm located, nor was there any access to a firearm. The Verona Police Department assured the Verona Public Schools that our schools are safe for students to attend. The alleged electronic statement was made in a private group chat amongst juveniles discussing an apparent previous theft, the police and school statements added. An investigation found no other students were involved in the posting and the juveniles' parents were cooperating with police. We caution the community to be mindful of what they post and share on social media, as demonstrated last night, which has been known to spread false or exaggerated information, further creating panic and anxiety within the community, the police chief and school superintendent said. Please also keep in mind the potential emotional damage social media posts and rumors may cause.
Now time for announcements. Dance Club. There will be a dance club meeting today at 3 p.m. in the auditorium. Come dressed to dance. The Spanish Club is having a free Latin dance lesson today, room 5 after school. There is a mandatory SAS meeting on Wednesday, December 11th. Student Council is welcome to attend. Reminder, SAS members and student councils are obligated to bring baked goods for senior holiday social on December 13th. Please bring all baked goods to Ms. Almazar in room 5 the morning of the event. Bring the sweets, even if you are not attending the festivities. See Ms. Almazar for details. Future Health Careers Club. Holiday party will be held on Tuesday, December 17th after school in the teacher's caf. Please sign up with Ms. Haddad in the health office if you will be attending. Hope that all members will join for the festivities. Interact Club will be hosting a holiday party on December 20th At this party, there will be food, games, and a white elephant. If anyone is interested in participating, please see Rebecca Rodriguez or Mr. Fucci. Tabletop Games Club will meet in the library after school on Wednesdays. Come check out a wide variety of board and card games. See Miss Amoroso or Miss Lemke for details. Art Club and National Arts Society will be meeting Fridays after school in room 102 during the school year. We are working on projects and sometimes exploring new media. Join us. Celebrate Honor of Code. Stop by the library and learn all about this annual event celebrating computer science. Throughout the week, AP Computer Science students will be available in the library 3rd and 4th periods to demonstrate coding and help you develop your coding skills. Girls are invited to join Girls Who Code on Friday, December 13th in the library at 7:30 a.m. to learn more about computer science. French Club Movie Day. December 11th, Ratatouille with Chef Gusteau. Snacks is included, popcorn, chips, cookies, juice, right after school in the library. Tickets are $5. Get your ticket today from Yassine, Ivani, or Ryan. No tickets will be selling at the door. Interact's Toys for Tots Drive will end December 13th. Please bring all toys to the main office for the collection. If you are interested in supporting a teacher in this contest, you may bring it to them as well. Thank you for the support. Bake Sale. Friends Club Holiday Bake Sale right after school on December 18th. Our segment, Do You Smell What Mr. Rock is Cooking, is now taking suggestions for what to make in future episodes. Drop your suggestion on a little piece of paper in the box located in the main office. Never underestimate the strength and resilience of 4-year-olds. They may be able to do almost anything. Eli can tell us more.
In the state of Washington, police authorities reported that four-year-old twins escaped in a car crash and found their way out to safety on their own. On Friday at 6 p.m., Corey Simmons, the girl's father, died in a terrible car crash with his daughters in the back seat. Simmons was not wearing a seatbelt when the car crashed into the trees and went down in the embankment. It was reported that the girls climbed 200 feet from where the accident occurred. An unidentified woman called 911 when she saw the 2 young girls walking alone. The Simmons twins were then transported to a nearby hospital and treated for minor injuries. This story, as of right now, is still under investigation.
Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Thanks for watching RPtv. Have a great day and stay tuned for CNN 10.
Hi, I'm Carl. As CNN 10 is getting things started this Tuesday with a report concerning Russian athletes and international sports. In fact, if the World Anti-Doping Agency gets its way, Russian athletes won't be allowed to compete in major international sports for 4 years. The World Anti-Doping Agency works to keep certain drugs out of sports. Performance-enhancing drugs, which could give athletes an unfair advantage, are among them. In 2016, a report came out that accused Russia of having a widespread and complicated doping or drug program that was supported by the Russian government. The World Anti-Doping Agency says Russia hasn't fully cooperated with investigations into this, so it voted on Monday to ban the country from major events. What does that mean? If the decision is upheld, Russia won't be able to host any major international sporting events for 4 years. In the 2020 Summer Olympics and Paralympics, the 2022 Winter Olympics, and the 2022 World Cup Finals, the Russian flag won't be flown and the country's national anthem won't be played. This doesn't mean that all Russian athletes have been kicked out. Those who can prove they never took part in doping programs can still compete as neutral athletes. You might remember in the 2018 Olympics how a number of people competed as Olympic athletes from Russia. When they won medals, the Olympic flag was raised and the Olympic anthem was played. That same thing could happen again. And if the Russian national soccer team qualifies for the 2022 World Cup, it will be allowed to play, but will have to compete as a neutral team. The World Anti-Doping Agency says Russia's been given every chance to, quote, get its house in order and rejoin the global anti-doping community, but it chose instead to continue in its stance of deception and denial. The United States Anti-Doping Agency says Russia's punishment doesn't go far enough, that the country should have been completely banned from international competition. But Russian Prime Minister Dmitry Medvedev says though his country has had problems with doping, the decision to ban Russian athletes, including some who've already been punished, makes it look like a continuation of anti-Russian hysteria. He wants Russian organizations to appeal the decision, and another Russian government official suggested the country would do that because Russia, quote, must defend our athletes. Meantime, there are signs of strain appearing in the roller coaster relationship between the United States and North Korea. For about a year and a half now, their leaders have tried and failed to reach an agreement concerning North Korea's controversial nuclear program. America has a number of penalties in place on North Korea's economy, and the communist country wants those removed first before it gets rid of its nuclear program. The U.S. wants North Korea to denuclearize first before the sanctions are lifted. So they've been butting heads there, and in recent days, U.S. President Donald Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un have traded words of warning.
We are back in familiar territory here, a test from North Korea over the weekend, and then followed by this increasing rhetoric between the North Koreans and the United States. Now, on Sunday, the North Koreans announced that they had, the day before, carried out a very important, a very successful test. They didn't specify what exactly it was, but experts looking at satellite imagery say that they believe that it was a rocket engine test. We're waiting for confirmation from Pyongyang on that, but it could be used for launching satellite launches or ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles, that potentially could hit mainland United States. That is the particular missile that Washington is most concerned with. Now, we did have a response from the US President Donald Trump saying that he believed that Kim Jong-un is too smart to throw everything away, and said that he would lose everything if in fact he was acting in a hostile way, also saying that acting in a hostile way could void the special relationship between him and Kim Jong-un. Now, we've had a reaction as well from the North Korean side fairly quickly. This was from Kim Yong-chol, the former nuclear negotiator of North Korea, who met with President Trump just in January of this year in the Oval Office at the White House, and delivered a message, a very positive message from Kim Jong-un at the time. But he has said that these remarks from the US president are inappropriate, they are dangerous. If he continues, then Kim Jong-un may have to reassess what he thinks of the US president, saying North Korea has nothing more to lose. Now, up until this point, North Korean officials have been very careful not to slam the US president. They have slammed the US policy when it comes to North Korea, but never President Trump himself. So certainly that is something that is changing. And also just on Saturday, we heard from the North Korean ambassador to the UN, Kim Song, saying that the denuclearization was off the table when it comes to negotiation with the US, and they have no need now for lengthy talks with the US. So clearly the relationship between the US and North Korea is suffering at this point.
10-second trivia. Which of these countries is composed of 2 main islands and a number of smaller ones? Cuba, Indonesia, Dominican Republic, or New Zealand? It's the South Pacific nation of New Zealand that has 2 major islands and a bunch o' little ones. Most of New Zealand's population lives on its North Island, and a little more than 30 miles from it is the Bay of Plenty, where you'll find White Island, and that's where an active volcano erupted Monday while 47 tourists were on it. Dozens of them were injured and hospitalized, at least 5 people were killed, and 8 were still missing when we produced this show. On Tuesday morning, New Zealand police said there were no signs of life on White Island, but rescuers couldn't actually set foot there to search because it was so unstable. New Zealand's on the Pacific Ring of Fire, a belt of eruptions and earthquakes.
Tragedy in New Zealand, where a volcano has erupted in the northern part of the country on White Island. Around 50 people are believed to have been visiting the island at the time of the eruption, including more than 30 passengers from a Royal Caribbean cruise liner. The eruption started Monday, 2:15 local time, about 50 kilometers from the east coast of New Zealand's North Island. Massive plumes of smoke have been seen from the mainland. Volcanologists say it may not have been a powerful eruption, but its force was certainly felt by those on the island.
White Island has a water lake in its crater, and that water is very acidic. And so an explosion underneath the lake would have thrown out very, very hot kind of steam. So those burn injuries were likely a result of steam blasts. But the explosion would have created a lot of what we call ballistics, lots of rocks falling as well.
Soon after the eruption, an emergency operation was launched to locate and rescue those on the island. But police say at this stage it is too dangerous for police and rescue to go onto the island as it's covered in ash and volcanic material. The White Island volcano is New Zealand's most active cone volcano. It's also one of the world's most accessible active volcanoes. There are ocean cruises that run near the site and even guided tours on the island itself. Tourists visit White Island for its strange alien moonscape. It's one of the most dramatic environments that can be visited in New Zealand. And although the focus right now is on search and rescue, questions are being asked about why tourists were allowed on the island, the home of a steaming, smoking, and erupting volcano. Christy Lou Stout, CNN.
Trampolines can be fun, especially if you consider yourself an extreme athlete who's ready to risk more than an injury to go airborne. A Slovenian group of stuntmen built the bouncy platform and then used a crane to suspend it 100 feet in the air. What happens if they go over the side? That's where the "don't try this at home" warning comes in. One of the acrobats says you can't help but feel dizzy when you're propelled in the air. but it gives them a unique platform or springboard from which to prove there's nothing they stratosphere as they tramp all over the lines others would draw when the air you catch is your only safety net and you vertigo for the height of fungi with a bungee that leaves everyone craning their neck in suspense. I'm Carl Azus, and we gotta bounce, y'all. We'll catch you again tomorrow on CNN.